What's going on, guys? Grab a pen and jot this down. Today we're going to talk about the Ethereum merge, what's happening on in the crypto economy, and some of the technicals of crypto economics. Most importantly, the Ethereum merge is coming up next week. It's a major shift from proof of work to proof of stake. It's important because of a few factors. The primary factor that most people are concerned about is the energy consumption of blockchain technology, mostly the computing power required to process blocks on chain. And really what they're doing is just validating information, data on chain, how transactions are being processed on a global scale. So that's what Ethereum does really well. It's a global settlement layer. And next week, somewhere between the dates of September 10th and September 15th, we're looking at September 13th as a target date. We're moving over. So we already confirmed and were positive in the Bellatrix confirmation, the merge testnet chain that happened earlier this week, and now we're going over to the Panda. So like this is the next merge. This is the next stage of the merge, or the last and final stage. And this is important for several reasons. I'll mention one other one. It's because this will be the final chain that we know of today that's a major use case in proof of work that's shifting over to proof of stake. So any new kind of tokens, chains, global settlement layers that might get designed afterwards will all be proof of stake going forward. They won't be based on computing power solely. They will be based on the users on the network, who invests in the network, how it gets consumed, how money gets transacted. And then we'll see a shift in how Ethereum is transacted on the settlement layer. A lot of things about how money will be transferred. So Ether become a base case currency for all these new worlds, because if you have a global settlement layer that's secure, it's safe, and it just works, like it's reliable, it has the 100% uptime, it's constantly online, on chain, then you could build every other ecosystem on the global settlement layer. So what we call it in the crypto world is ETH and Bitcoin are layer 1, and every other chain is layer 2. I mean, they require either the funding mechanisms of Bitcoin, they require the application layers of ETH, and they require other application benefits, maybe security, transfer speeds, other things that are just technical benefits that you'll just say, everybody globally accepts this. You'll use it like, it's kind of like accepting the US dollar as a global currency. Why do we do it? Because it's the language of free money and freedom. So if you use it, you take a $20 bill, you go anywhere in the world, be like, that's great. I'll buy food in Europe with a $20 bill, or I'll buy it in the US. It doesn't matter. But now they have a global currency, it's kind of like global reserve. It's a standard rate. And then you can build things using ETH. You can build things funded by Bitcoin. And you start thinking about it like that, you'd be like, all right, how are digital economics going to look different from physical economics? And this is one of the early stages. When I say early stages, I'm talking about like 1 out of 20 years. Like, what will the internet's data containership, meaning how is information transferred from point A to point B, how will that shift over a period of time? This will be one of the early points where you'll be like, all right, this was a moment where we started developing early blocks of these databases, and this is how it was funded, this is how the mechanisms were created, this is how the protocols work, and it'll be normal. You won't even realize the change that's happened over 20 years.